Bass are without a doubt the most asked after fish in the shop. Not everybody, 90% of the people who come in the shop, especially in the summer months, that sort of thing, always want to know, where can I catch a bass? Where can I go to catch a bass? I could say, oh, go down the beach, there's sole and plaice and hounds and rays, and I could name a plethora of different species, and they always say, what about bass? There's just something about them, isn't there? They're an awesome looking thing. They're obviously very famous because of restaurants' popularity. They are great eating fish, of course. They are hard fighting fish, of course. You can catch them on bait, you can catch them on lures. When they're feeding, they're not particularly difficult to catch. So I thought, let's come down a little bit of early season bassing. So I'm actually in the backwaters at Milford. This is the backwater behind Milford Shinglebank. So directly over there is Milford Shinglebank, drop over deep water. All sorts of fish over there. In the backwater here, it's a really simple way of fishing for bass. Going back to my earth rig, which I'm glad you guys are all getting involved with and having a play with. And I just thought I'd come along and do that. Really simple, single hook earth. I've got some crab, some little sort of 2 and 3 ounce leads. I've got my lovely little light 45 Ecclesio, which hopefully will show up some cracking bites. I'm just going to be plopping some crab bait out there, seeing if there's a bass or two around. That's the plan. Oh, it's like a summer's day today. It's glorious. Absolutely glorious. Well, 13th of April. So, well in the swing of spring. I know. There's been a few bass shows for this. I'm reasonably confident. Tactics are, as always, simple. My number one motto, I think that, keep it simple. I've got my earth bar there with a little 2 ounce weight on. I've got 6 foot, just like in that video the other day, of 040 Trilene XL. Looking at the conditions and the brightness stuff, I probably should have actually bought some snooze with some slightly lighter liners, or maybe some 030 or something, because that water's pretty clear and it is a big bright sun. But I am just in the last knock-ins of daylight, so in the next sort of hour or so I'm going to be losing light, so I don't think that's going to be too critical. So where was I? So 6 foot of 040 fluorocarbon tied to a circle hook. And on the end of that I'm simply going to put a lump of crab. Hopefully you saw my crab demo video the other day. I'll put a link to that one just in case you didn't. But slightly different today because I'm only flicking it really gently out into the middle of this little sort of channel here. I probably won't even bother whipping my crab on with elastic and stuff. I've got my elastic and things like that just in case I want to. There's fish staring right in the edge down there. Could be a little mullet, could be a little bass, could be anything. It's always exciting when you see fish. Really shallow just in here. I mean, because you might be able to tell from the land behind me, but we're a few hours away from high tide yet, so the water's a little bit out. So it's really shallow. Just means you get those little fish mooching around. Anyway, enough of the waffling. So I've peeled my crab, I've chopped it in half, and I'm just going to thread it through. Let's go 3 times round. Like so. Now that's going to comfortably take a little flick out cast. If I was blasting it to the horizon with my bigger sort of beach cast and things like that, I would whip it up with the elastic. But I'm not doing that, so I'm just going to leave it as a nice jelly blobby mass of fish attracting gooey crabbiness. Right, That is it. I mean, there's just nothing more simple than that. You could fish a running ledge or anything if you like. I just tend to like these little earth clips because I've always got them on me and they're really easy. Right, let's flick it out there, see how we go. Bite straight away. I was just putting the camera up behind me there and figuring out where I want to sit. There we go. Gosh. Oh, I dropped it. Oh, Thomas. On camera as well. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Less said about that, the better, eh, guys? It was almost a dream start. That put me off. Well, it was nearly the dream start. I can't believe that. Cast out, put it on the rest, just sort of thinking, where can I put the cameras in relation to myself and where the sun is? Look up and there's a little twitch twitch. And then it wraps around, I lift into it, and then it was gone. Had it on for just a couple of seconds, just long enough to let me know that it was a fish. Oh well, never mind. These things happen in fishing. Let's hope it's not the curse of the first cast disaster. What I was going to say, before that all distracted me, was we're casting into shallow water with quite a muddy, soft, squeaky base. So my little tip for this, regardless of what rig you're using, pretty much regardless of what weight you're using, especially actually I suppose if you're using heavy leads, but as the lead's going out, if you can watch it, and if you can just stop your line just as the lead hits the water, and sort of almost stop it and pull it back, what that'll do is, rather than the lead going plummeting straight into and embedding itself in the soft mud, it'll just hopefully sort of glide and sit down a lot gentler, you know what I mean, on the mud. You could quite easily bed a lead straight into the soft mud and never get it out. You can do this sort of fishing with any rod really you like. I mean, any light rod, barbel rod, carp rod, you know, light bass rods, flatty rods, anything really. Anything that's just light and enjoyable. Really want to see that tip hanging around because there's no tide, there's no like strong tide here or anything, so you can get away with using whatever lead you like. I'm just on that little 2-ounce ball lead and it's not going to move an inch in the tide we have. So you may as well go as light as you can and actually enjoy the sport, enjoy the bite, enjoy the sport out of the fish. You can stay mobile as well. If I didn't have all my camera stuff with me, You can just grab a rod, a reel and a bucket of bait and just chuck some crab around, or even big ragworms, big lugworm baits and big worm baits as well, on exactly the same rig. Half hour, 45 minutes in one spot, move on up the creek, search out the fish. It's a lovely way of fishing. So I'm not going to give this cast very long. I actually think I flicked it a little bit too far. I think I went a little bit too close to that far bank there. So I'm almost happy when I just pretty much just plonk it in the middle. Just pub chuck it in the middle, as my carp friends would say. You do get a lot of crab activity down here as well. Probably part of the reason why crab as a bait works so well is because the fish are in here actually hunting crab. So with that in mind, it's worthwhile not leaving your baits out there for too long. Maybe sort of 15 minutes or so. And I've just realised I've forgotten my towel. That's the worst thing to possibly forget when you go fishing, isn't it? All the things you forget, forgetting a towel is the worst. Fiddlesticks. Now I'm looking around for a likely bit of weed. Nice. Professional angler. Well, there is my hand towel for the day. He says, wiping his hands on his jeans. Sorry, darling. Well, we've got about 15 minutes and there's still plenty of crab left on the hook, so I could have left it out there. There's certainly no harm getting extra fresh scent out there, so let's take that off and change it. A nice big juicy bit of fresh crab that hasn't been washed out, pecked out. Before I forget, I'd just like to say a special shout out to Megan from Bognor. I met your dad the other day, came in the shop and told me how much you've been enjoying my videos. So thank you very much for taking the time to watch them, muchly appreciated. Hopefully your dad can show me some photos of some fish you've caught next time I see him. That'd be awesome. A little bit happy with that cast. I felt it went exactly where I wanted it to go. I just stopped it and pulled it back. Everything was just right about that. So pretty confident here. That one. Kiting up to my left up there. Sinking. Lovely big plump bass. Look at that. Absolutely stunning bit of fish. Great fun on that light rod, great fun in the shallow water. Hopefully you can see that. Perfectly hooked in the corner there, on the circle. Stunning fish. That was a great fun fight. Great scrap. Love it. I'm actually going to go and put this one back. I know I do fish for the table quite a lot, but I've got a bit of fish at home in a minute, so I've had good sport out of that one, so it's going to go back. Gentle little flick, just as it hits the water. Stop your hand, stop the line and lift your rod, and that'll stop it sinking in the mud. Well, first bass landed, so one lost, one landed, and I've been here about 50 minutes. Hopefully you're seeing how easy this is. A light lead, a length of line with a hook and a lump of crab flopped into the water. Great fighting fish. Anyone can do this. Right, let's get another crab peeled, ready for the next one. Oh, starting to get a bit chilly then. Telltale signs it's still only early spring. Just as that sun's getting low in the sky, the temperature drops. Waiting in anticipation. It's funny, when you get a couple of fish reasonably early in the session, you're just expecting it to go every time now. I'm glued to my rod side. That's a good tip actually. If you are fishing for bass at close range, shallow water, don't wander away from your rods. If you're lucky enough to hook a big one, that rod could well get dragged in. Because of the lack of tide and things like that, you can fish bait runners or free spool reels, things like that. I almost contemplated coming down, in fact I probably will at some stage this year, with my barbel rod and my centre pin. That'd be a lot of fun. Nothing more exciting than watching a centre pin scream off on the ratchet with the fish attached to it. That's how I do all my barbel fishings on the pin. I just love it. It's exhilarating. That sound adds to the whole fishing experience. Be good fun down here with the barbel rod and a centre pin on the bass, I reckon. If you're going to fish venues like this for bass, where it's very shallow, clear water, close range stuff, and you're going to fish into the evening, it's more important than ever to make sure you keep that headlight, or any light you're using, off of the water. So if I was fishing into darkness tonight, I might just go into the last little bit of daylight, but we shall see. I'll actually, to bait up, I'll make sure I turn around, bait up this way, switch my headlight off, then cast out, rod down. If you've got a headlight that's got a red light setting, that's probably the best thing you can use. Gives you a little bit of light to work with, but it's a non-penetrative light, so it's not going to go deep into the water and scare the fish off. Bass can be really spooky in sort of shallow, close waters like that. Well, all fish can, to be fair. If you've got some big clomping angler going up and down the beach, shining his light into their light into the water, You're not going to have many fish in front of you for long. Here, fishy, 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 fishy. Come on. Here, fish, 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 fish. Here, fish, 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 fish. Have a little fishy on my little dishy. Have a little fishy when the boat comes in. It is important to sing to your fish. They do appreciate it. Makes them hungry. What's your favourite fish-related song? That's a good one for the comments, guys. Favourite fish-related song? What have we got? Waterboys, obviously Fisherman's Blues. That's a classic. Van Morrison. Oh, what's that song called? And It Stoned Me. And it stoned me to my soul. Is that the one with... where he goes fishing with his friend? I can't remember. Anyway. Fishing-related songs, or fish-related songs. Stick them in the comments. Let's have some fun. Well, before I lose the light altogether, I think I'd better wrap it up. I've snuck out an extra quarter of an hour, so 2.25 hours down here. One missed fish, landed one really plump, lovely looking fish. Scrapped well, gave me a great fight. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Still waiting for that tip to wrap round. Been glued to it all evening. I better call it a day. Nope, look at that. Come on. Is it? Is it? Oh. Could be a little fish just toying with it. Oh no, I'm having that. Yes. Oh well. Just saying, literally just about to pack up. Nice thing about fishing for the bass in really shallow water is they'll run all over the place. This one's shot right upstream there. Don't think it's quite as big as the last one. In fact, it's not, but it's still a nice fish. Guide it over. There we go. Hooked right in the corner again on that circle. Easy just to pop that hook out. Look at that. Beautiful bar of silver. Cracking fish. Really happy with that. That's my last cast. I did say it was going to be, and it is. Finish with a fish. A little bit smaller than the last one. Still a sizable fish. It's going to go back there. Although I do love eating fish, there is something really nice about seeing a bass cruise off. And all of a sudden, kick and it goes. Beautiful. I lied slightly. I just put that bass back, went to pack up, got my bucket to clean it out. There was half a crab in there. I can't waste half a crab. You guys understand, right? Chucking away half a good quality peeler crab. Sacrilege. So, one last cast. I think I need therapy. I have an addiction to angling. Can't put it down. No. I'm going to go home this time. Yeah. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed the video. I very much look forward to doing something next week. I always say that. And I normally say, I'm going to do this next week, and I never do it. I do something completely different. But there we go. Next week I'm going to go fishing. There you go, let's leave it at that. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you've seen how easy fishing can be. Give it a go. Lots of fun. Grab the lightest gear you got and have some fun with some bass. Until then, ciao for now.